We want to work through our forearm today, into our hands, and I just want to show a couple more options that you can use to take care of some of the tension that you'll pick up in here. So the first thing that you do, just to get these extensors to open up, find yourself a surface that you can trust, a table, a counter, you can even use a wall, the bed beside you. Your palm is face up. You'll notice when I'm standing here, I'm kind of arched and open, so I'm not hurting my low back. Just take your hand and gently turn it in towards your body. Slowly come around until your elbow locks. Be gentle, please. You lean up towards the area of the fingers till you, I like to call it a 3 out of a level of 10 of stretch. Just enough to feel the stretch in there, but not enough to hurt, please. And then you're going to pinky lead. Good luck. Start with your pinky and try to bring your hand in. And then when you come out, lead with your pinky as well. So pinky leads, gentle and easy. If you pick a softer surface or something with a pillow or a wash rag on it, it won't be so hard on the first digit here. So just back and forth, little by little. When you get done, uncork and work that out. Take care of the flexors. You've seen this. Open up your hands. Find different positions. You can do it on a table. You can do it on a wall. I still want to remind you to go back through the opening and closing of the hand. Kind of like a spider. You know? So open up the hand, let it extend back. Just let those fingers open up and then let it relax. Open and close that. Just feel that hand opening up. Different positions actually help you. We're going to incorporate a little ball today too to help take some of that tension, help you learn how to relieve some of that part. The other hand, just open and close. Really try to splay that thumb and pinky out of there. Let that open up. You'll feel tension in there. So just to remind through that. And then once again, with our finger circles, remember the thumb is a very unique part of these digits. So you drop over a little bit of a roll, let it open up, and then you bring it up. So it's 4 little tiny micro movements that you're incorporating, and then you just smooth them out. Real slow and gentle. It's not necessarily you go to the largest circle that you can get, but the most stretch, relax. Feel that not only muscles move through there, but all those tendons and that fascia. You're trying to open your hands back up. You spend a lot of time squeezing. And then as you walk down through the rest of the fingers, you're trying to move at the base here. You're trying to make circles happen. Gentle. Easy. Feel the rest of your hand. Continue to try to open up with that, and you'll feel some of that stress working against itself. Middle finger, it won't be perfect. Just get some circles in there, nice and slow. Ring finger, finger. There's the tendency to want to bring that thumb back in. Keep trying to open that up as you do the pinky circles. You can, yes, take your other hand and help a little. And walk back through nice and slow. Recovery is a very lazy, gentle thing because you're actually trying to reintroduce fluid motion. So whatever it is you're reintroducing, if you have tension in there while you're doing it, then tension is part of what you program. So move like you want to move, nice and gentle. Okay? Alrighty, so let's get this Alden over here. We're going to work on her forearm a little bit. One thing I'd like you to do to start with, in order to take care of these extensor muscles, because it's such a unique joint, inside this forearm right here you have 2 bones, and when you do this, they're essentially moving like this. So one bone crosses over the other, and it causes an interesting thing to happen in here. In other words, this is not enough to stretch it. You actually have to rotate it up. So I'm going to have, this is Alden, right? I'm going to have you come on over here and put your hand there. And when you do that, it's kind of low. Spread your legs out a little bit. Let your knees bend and kind of let your belly open up. Yeah, there you go. Nice and relaxed. You want to turn this to inside your body. Just keep turning around, nice and gentle. Keep going until your elbow locks. And you want to lean into it a little bit, but not too much. Keep the elbow locked when you lean in. Do you feel that tension in there? Yes. Then we want to try to do pinky leads. And it may not move, depending on how much tension she has. So she's going to try to work her way into that. And that last finger is really a booger. When you come back out, pinky first, the next one, all the way through. Pinky leads. Try to move that wrist. And you'll feel a lot of tension in here. That is the stretching and the moving of those individual muscles that move your fingers in there. When you are done, let the elbow bend a little bit and then uncork. Noises are happening, right? And then you kind of work it out. There, a little bit there. Good, good. That's the extensor part. Okay, so one more time. Is that too much? Make sure you kind of bend your knees when you get on down there so you're not hurting your low back, or find a counter that's the right height. Turn in, gentle. If you can get there, you go. Lock the elbow, come up and over. Please breathe. Pinky leads. There you go. You probably feel a lot going on in there, huh? Pinky out too. Is it too much? You can put something softer under your hand, a washcloth or something that's a little more friendly. This can be a little bit hard on that first knuckle. Okay? The other side is basically a game that you use to open up. And you can, this is a little small, but you can find a surface where you can play this little game. You can do it against a wall. Just make sure that you open your hands up. That takes care of the front side. Just kind of kula-koo like a cat might do. Work around. Okay, so now I want to introduce a little partner game. If you can find someone you can trust, brother or sister, if that's not safe, a parent. And we're going to try to help a little partner work to get some of that tension out of the forearm. So let's make sure they can see you. Come this way. I want to make sure when you do this, you don't have to lift your arm up for me. You can have it relaxed, and the elbow should stay relaxed. I am going to grip around her upper, or that forearm right there, and I'm going to use, put my hands over the top of each other and let my thumbs cross so I can squeeze, and it's a little easier for me. When I squeeze just below the elbow, I'm not trying to hurt Miss Alden. I just want to get a firm grip in here. So I'm going to go, I don't know, if this is 1 to 10, about a 3. And I'm just going to hang on. And then I'm going to encourage Brielle to move her hand. Wrist, fingers, some of them can move easy, some of them can't. I'm going to let go and walk down just a little bit and do it again. Once again, this is the grip that I'm using, thumb over the top of each other. And I'm going to squeeze again. Some of those she can't move very good because she's trying to recover from them, so it'll be difficult. Wrist back and forth, please breathe. And let that shoulder relax. And I'm not trying to knead the dough as the deliverer of health here, of care. I'm not trying to squeeze. It's not a, just get a nice little firm grip in there and hang on. And then you can try to do pinky leads too, or not, or pointer finger leads. And then I just keep walking down the arm. You can make fists and let go if possible. There you go. Excellent. Let's do the other side. So, elbow is soft. There you go. Shoulder is soft. You might have to keep reminding them, drop their shoulder. And you give a nice squeeze. Is that too much? I should say that out loud.
No, it's not too much.
Okay. I'll walk down, I'll let you squeeze around. You can move your whole wrist, you can move your fingers individually. You can even try to do those finger exercises while someone's squeezing. I'm walking down here, just small incremental movements. It's not about how hard or kneading the dough. So if you're delivering the care here, nice and gentle, you give a firm squeeze, but you don't want to hurt. No hurting. There you go. About here is enough. You don't want to get down in the wrist and do that. That's a different game to play. Although, you can take your own hand, wrap your hands around it, and just give a gentle little squeeze. You can do that for yourself. This is a tender, important area. You can squeeze out a little bit. Be very gentle. You can kind of give it a little squeeze and it'll open up. I don't want you to do that to others because you can't feel what they're feeling. And if you're not a professional, you can actually take problems that might be in there and make things worse. So stick within the meat of the things, not in the joint surfaces for now, if you help out. Okay. There is a little something you can do for your joints and your knuckles. Am I close enough to this? Am I okay there? All right, so I want to open up this joint where my finger attaches to my hand. And I want to show you how to do this. I just want you to be very, very careful and gentle. So I'm going to very gently put my hand against my body, and I'm just going to pump it. And I don't know if you can see much in there. It's barely moving. I want to feel the joint just barely open up. I don't want to give it, I'm not trying to pop it. It might make a little bit of release, but I'm just gently opening and closing the joint. The point is to get movement in the joint. When I open and close, just enough to open and close, I'm actually getting rid of the garbage. I'm causing the fluid inside to go out some passageways that get rid of the garbage, and I'm bringing in the good stuff. The movement is actually what brings in your food to the joint, the nutrients, and it also gets rid of the garbage and toxic wastes that are in there. It's movement that does that. And because we're doing one kind of movement all the time, it's very good to just open the whole joint and let it flex back and forth. And I'll pump it, I don't know, 10 to 15 times. Interestingly enough, if I move beyond that to the next joint, I'll now begin to incorporate that joint. That one will start to open. And yes, I can go all the way out to the very end. Very easy. You can squeeze a bit if you want, but don't yank on this thing, okay? The next joint, just walk through your knuckles. You'll hear some popping at times. Do not hit and bang this. Be very gentle. Teach your body how to open. It's not just muscles and ligaments, but fascial tissue. But the point is the actual joint itself, as you're walking through and pumping that. You bring in good quality fluid and you get rid of the toxins. Sometimes when you do things throughout your day, a few joints are not allowed as much movement as others, just because of the way you might hold a mouse or a trackpad and that sort of thing. So I'll just very gently, just enough to open the joint. You will notice some joints might even be painful, so very easy, very gentle. When you get into the thumb, the actual joint you were really wanting to work is way back here. So you can actually hang on, get the whole thing, and just give it a nice little gentle and firm. Can you put that together? Just enough to open and let it close, and then work your way out. All right. So while you can provide a little therapy for yourself, your hand needs to be reminded that it can cup around something. So you're going to take this ball. In fact, I'm going to have you do that, Bill. You're going to take the ball and let it cup, your hand cup around that, and gently move that ball around and let it give therapy. She's moving into this part of her hand where the hand's coming into the fingers, and she's going to go to what just feels good. Let your hand kind of wrap around a little bit and relax over the top of it. Just move back and forth. You can get into the belly. Put that hand right in there and let it, and you can work into your thumb and then forefinger. Start to work. It's a very soothing thing. You can choose a lot of different types of balls. I prefer one that will give you a little bit of motion. A hard ball is workable. You can really trust it. One that gives a little bit, this is a little dollar store. We have a bag of dollar store balls that we have here. Will give you a little bit of freedom. It'll move with you, so you can kind of work into it. But you'll find areas of tension in there. Not everything has to be beat on. If you just give it permission to be soft and easy, and a little tactile sensitivity as it's called, you'll get a little more therapy out of that as well. You can actually, if I can borrow that for a second, turn it over and work a ball through in here. You can even work down those little lines, right? Those little spaces between the carpals, these little bones in here. You can work back and forth, get into here, you can get into this region. Work around on the ball, you can get into your thumb and open it up into here. You can bring it over here and work into that top part of your hand. Just take the ball, spend a little time with it. Alrighty, thanks, I was gonna forget that.